Hello YouTube, welcome back guys.
Hey, it's been a while.
Well, today we have our first video in our series for Pathfinder.
Oh yes, personal favorite of mine. It is a RPG, role-playing game for those of you who don't know. And it's in the same vein as Dungeons & Dragons. It's actually based off the Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 rule system.
Right.
So, those of you who played D&D 3.5, you'll be able to jump into Pathfinder pretty simply without too much trouble.
Yeah.
I would say there are two facets we need to look at for this. On one hand, you have the DM, and then you have the players. So first off, let's start with the DM. So, as a DM, you will be the one responsible for running the game, knowing the rules, and basically taking care of all the NPCs, making sure that you have loot and encounters and things for your players to do in the game, so they're not like, so, tree. That's boring. Nobody wants that. So first off, I would say definitely the Pathfinder core rulebook. Pretty awesome, right? This big red dragon up here. For DM purposes, make sure you have, if not all of it, because that's, as you can see, it's pretty thick. It can be daunting. As long as you have the majority of it down, you can kind of wing it, and from there, if there are certain things you don't like, you can also homebrew your own rules to fit what you're trying to do, which is great. I mean, they even says in the book, these rules are yours to do with as you wish.
Yeah.
And to change and make your own.
It's not like the creators are gonna come knocking on your door. Hey, you broke the rules.
Rules are mine. I can make my own rules and tweak things here and there to try to make it more fair and more equal for the players.
Right.
Now, I wouldn't say all the players should have the core rulebook, but it'd be cool if they did, because then they can kind of just flip through, make their characters, and just do their own thing that way. If they have things they need to look up for their characters, they can do that. Not on their turn, of course, but in between their turns, if they need something to look up, they can just look it up real quick. They have their book. It's all good. Another great nifty thing for DMs is the GM screen. And I love the artwork for this stuff. It's fantastic.
Actually, do you want me to take the camera off so we can show more of it? Set up. Okay, just give us 1 second, guys. So yeah, it's kind of long.
Yeah.
Okay. Flip it over real quick. And then it's got all of, like your quick stats and whatnot that you need to know, your skills. Basically.
Different things for different checks.
Right.
Whatnot.
It's basically just a quick reference for things that you might need. So that's pretty cool. GM screen.
That is really nice to have as a DM, because then, for one, when you're doing your roles, they are hidden from everybody else, which is important.
Yeah.
At the same time, as you saw, it's a nice quick reference on your side. So, as I said before, you're not going to remember every little minute little rule. You're not.
No.
I mean, come on. You're not going to remember every DC.
And if you do, you guys got a great memory.
Touche, but doubt it. but you're not going to remember the DC for every little check, or the DC for a heal check, or the DC for the hardness of said object. So it has a nice quick reference on your side that if you need to just look up something real quick, okay, cool. So it's this and this and this, and you can just, it helps make your games run a little more smoothly. So you're not stopping in the middle of your game all the time, and keeps the immersion together and alive and more fun for your players overall. Now, you will, as a DM, you will run your characters through campaigns. And you can either make up your own, which is a lot of fun. I make up my own. Or if maybe, I would say if you're a new DM and you're not sure how or what to do or go about it, I would say that you run a module, sort of like this one here. And a module is a adventure already pre-made, has all the encounters, has all the traps, has everything you need. All you have to do is just go through it page by page and run them through it. And that way it can help you learn kind of how to set up your traps, how to set up different various encounters, how to get the pacing down for a campaign.
Right. For example, me and him did a module.
Yes.
That was
Weeby Goblins.
And it was really fun. It's not like really drug out or anything. It's just really simple.
Oh.
It kind of teaches you, things that you have to do in the normal Pathfinder game.
Right.
Teaches you the basics, and it was really fun. And I think they have sequels to it too, don't they?
Yeah, there's a sequel to Weeby Goblins. Weeby Goblins, I think it's Weeby Goblins 2 or something.
Something simple like that.
But it's also good for new players. If they're trying to learn the system, you run them through a module real quick. And they're short, so they don't take a lot of time.
I think ours took a matter of 3 or 4 hours.
You didn't, well, the Weeby Goblins one, yeah.
Yeah, the Weeby Goblins one.
This one they didn't complete, but they were just pretty eager to move on to my own campaign.
Which, by the way, is pretty good. The DMs can make their own. They can make their own setting, their own world. We had a special Halloween one on Halloween night.
Yes,
that we made. That one was just like a
It was it's what they call one shot. You can do it in one night. Show up, do it, start it, complete it all in one night.
And it's really cool because our characters got to keep the XP and all of the loot that we actually got from that.
Oh yeah.
And it tied into the actual campaign that we're doing really well. So it kind of all just tied in together.
Yeah, you want to try to keep that immersion, but give you something a little special for
obviously, like, if you would have made it, and our characters, say, woke up in this mysterious place, that wouldn't really explain a whole lot.
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird. And
they'd kind of be like, well, how did you get here? Why did you get here?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions on their end.
No, he actually just made it a part of the world that we were already in, that we just didn't know about, that we could just
you just haven't gotten to or even explored. I mean, it doesn't mean it's not there and that you haven't come across it in the regular campaign. We just don't deal with it because it's already been dealt with in that little one shot. Now, another thing that you'll want as a DM, you don't have to have these things because Paizo is really good about having a lot of their books online in PDF form. Yeah, you can just go online, look it up real quick. So you don't have to have these books. You don't have to buy them. You can just look them up in PDF form if you want. I personally like having the books.
Yeah, because
partly because the artwork. The artwork is.
And also, if you try to print the rule book out in PDF, you're going to use a lot of ink and a lot of paper.
Yeah.
It'd probably be cheaper just to buy the book. Probably.
So another. Yeah, it might be. Another big thing you'll want is the bestiary. And this is an entire book. This whole thick book. Nothing but monsters creatures, and all kinds of fun things to throw at your players to make the game more interesting. It gives you a lot of variety. For instance, here's a fun one that these guys came across in my campaign. That's quite interesting. It was these guys right here, the dire bats. These things are pretty crazy. As you can see there, they're huge. And it gives you their stats, their weaknesses, the whole thing for what you need to run them in a successful combat scenario.
And here in a second we can kind of skim through the rulebook. I'll bring the camera over here and you can kind of get like an actual glance through some of the rulebook. Kind of give you an idea.
But, okay. Now, I would say this, for me it wasn't too hard to pick, as a system to pick up and learn. How was it for you? Like, just getting into it, never have done this before.
Well, I got used to it really well and really fast too. The things that make it better are thematics. You know, if you're like a warlock, get a spell book that you can write your spells down in.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing to actually bring you into the game. You can, if you really wanted to. What somebody in our group does is he brings in like this folder with paper and pen, and he has all the stuff in there.
Yeah, he just every time. I mean, you can see him periodically through the game, and he's just writing stuff down. Oh, this might be important.
Right.
This person's name, this place. We have these items that will separate.
And I mean, if you want, if you want to trade, I'm sure if you wanted to, you don't have to, but if you wanted to and you wanted to trade items between players, you could actually make like a form where you sign and you put what you're trading.
I mean, if you really wanted to,
you can make it a little thematic like that.
Logistically, I mean, you're a party amongst. I mean, in some cases.
Yeah, if you want to make it thematic.
You become friends. So if it's something you can't use, yeah, you're more than happy to give it up freely to the guy who can use it, because at least it'll get some use.
Like what I was saying, you can make it thematic and actually make a form so they have like a receipt. If you wanted to.
I don't think they ever had receipts back in that day.
They don't.
Because very medieval.
But then again, that would be metagaming.
Receipts? Yeah, there's no need for receipts because that's...
The player would have the receipt. But then again, their character wouldn't even know about it.
There'd be no need for it. But that's a big thing too.
Metagaming.
Metagaming can be a big problem. And I know people get very attached to their characters. I'm very attached to my characters.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you know ahead of, metagaming is basically taking your knowledge and trying to put it into your character and using it in your game for a character. For example, say you know there's a trap coming up. You know full well because it came out. You know what I mean? You realize it's there. Well,
just because you know it doesn't mean your character knows it.
If your character doesn't know it's there, it's not like he's not going to just walk into the room assuming there's nothing there. The best example is, say there's a rogue. He comes out and says, well, I want to steal some gold coins out of their coin pouch. Okay, so they roll. They roll quite well, like a 19. They get it out successfully without the other player knowing. But then, right after that happens, the player goes, I changed my coin pouch. Oh, you did it.
Yeah.
Well, you know that, but your character had no idea. He got in, got your gold, and left. You would not know it was him. It's like in the real world. Someone is a really good pickpocket. They pick your pocket, you don't know it. You're not going to all of a sudden be like, wait a minute, you picked my pocket. If they're good enough, you're not going to know. And sometimes that means walking into something and getting your characters killed if you don't want a metagame. And that's hard for people to do.
Yeah.
The cool thing about it from a player standpoint as well is you get to choose from different races, and you can have different classes that do all kinds of different things. Some magic users, some not magic users. Between the two magic users, you have the magic users who have divine magic, opposed to, I'm trying to think of the word for it.
I can't even think of the word.
I know, it escapes me, but like the magic and then the divine magic.
So basically there's different types of magic.
Divine magic is received from that character's said deity that they choose. So
Right.
they get it from a divine source. Where the other spellcasters, they don't get it from a divine source. Like a wizard. It wasn't given to him by divine source. He didn't just get it that way. He had to practice. He had to learn. It's like the whole Harry Potter thing.
Yeah.
Where you see them practicing the same spell over and over and over and over until they get it. And then they start to realize, this, saying the word like this, with this movement, makes this happen. Not, well, thanks Divine Power for giving me these abilities. That's fantastic. I'll figure them out as I go. They weren't just passed down to you.
Right. Would you like to show them some of the classes and whatnot?
But at least in the core rulebook, you start with these core races. Those are the only ones you get to choose from at the start. There are other books to give you more.
And it really does go in depth, as you can tell.
And of course, you got, see, like I said, the artwork, fantastic. Love the artwork in this. You have a race and you have different abilities, and there's another one. You've got a couple of different.
Guys?
All right, and I would say for me, as far as characters go, I love to play Dwarf and Paladins. They're a lot of fun. They are lawful good, and they get their power from a divine source.
First off, they may be wondering what is lawful good.
Well, that is an alignment. It determines your, how you would say, your perception of the world, I guess, and how you view things. And obviously we'll get more into that as we get deeper into the Pathfinder system as a whole.
Yeah, we're going to have a whole playlist, so it's not just going to be just this video. This is just like a brief overview.
This is like a giant review of just the system and the basic idea of the game.
We will have a gameplay. We will have a core rulebook.
Yeah, we'll go through the races and the classes and a bunch of different things like that. So I like to play Dwarf and Paladins. I'm just drawn to that class. I like that class. It's the tanky class. I love to play them. What about you?
Personally, I like elves. Just, I'm half elf, half human.
Yeah.
I like it. And my character, he has a bloodline.
Well, you're a sorcerer.
Right, I'm a sorcerer. He's got a bloodline.
And that bloodline is, sir?
Draconic. Which means eventually I can turn into a dragon.
Indeed.
I haven't yet. I do have dragon claws right now. It's just something I can always just pull out and use anytime.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about anything really for it. I can just use it at any time. For example, one time we went on it was some kind of ship, and we had to escape because we was held prisoner.
Yep.
And I used my dragon claws to threaten the captain of the ship to get off of the ship, because otherwise, he'd be a dead man walking pretty much. Because
it was.
You don't really see people with just dragon claws out of the blue. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that would freak him out to begin with. It was a very interesting situation. They handled it well, very well, indeed.
And the cool thing is we all work together, because if we didn't, we would have been really,
that's the big thing.
It would have been a bad deal if we didn't work together.
That's the big thing about this game. It's a cooperative game.
Right.
You work as a group to get through these objectives. You can't just be like, well, no, I'm good. You know what? I'm
Right.
just gonna let you guys do all the fighting.
Now-
I'm gonna run in
now-
and take all the loot.
Now that's not to say that you can't.
Well-
but if you was awful good, that wouldn't
You won't do
happen. That wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Your character just would not think that way.
Nope. And like I said, we'll get more into that when we get into
Right.
the alignment video.
Because I mean, realistically, in the world, unless there's certain rules or laws or something saying you can't, you can pretty much do anything.
That's the great thing about this game. Within the realm of what your character can do, you can do anything your character would do. There aren't
And I'm pretty
there
sure
are no rules saying, oh, you can't do that. Like, I will not tell them they can't do that. I mean, if they want to do it, that's fine. If it gets them killed, that's their fault. And
right.
they should have tried to think that out a little better.
And one cool thing about being a DM, GM, is you can actually, if you wanted to, you could make characters at a certain level that are a sorcerer or rogue or whatever. You get an NPC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens all the time. When you make your villages, you've got to fill them with something. They're not just abandoned. I mean, they could be.
They could be,
But not every city you come across is going to have no one in it.
yeah, because
You're
that
going
would
to make people who inhabit the village. You're going to have
Right.
your shops and your inns and your bars. And
gardens and whatever.
those of you who play these kind of games would know the most cliche way to start is y'all start in a tavern and there goes your adventure. But
Now, see, if all of them were abandoned, I don't think that'd be a very fun game. Unless it was some kind of apocalyptic theme or something.
yeah, I like to make mine I like to start in a different way
Yeah.
to get them into it. But
Because, I mean, if all of them were abandoned, where would you buy your stuff or sell your stuff?
oh yeah, and I mean, it's not a complicated game. At the end of the day, as a player, you need dice and a character sheet. Honestly, that's it. Dice and a character sheet. This is a nifty example of what character sheets look like.
And the cool thing is, you can print those off. If you just look up Pathfinder character sheet, you can print off the PDF and color
Oh yeah,
or whatever.
I mean, the nice part is there is one in the back of the core rulebook that you have that you can just print off.
You can do that. I would prefer the PDF way because sometimes when you take the book, they don't always get it right for some reason.
But I mean, I understand. You
PDF
don't-
always prints out fine.
Yeah,
But I mean,
they do.
this is fine
but
too.
the thing is, they do give you access to it, so you do have it.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Like I said, once again, this game was
And
put out by Paizo.
don't be a two-pager. Just get it printed on front and back. Actually, I'm kidding. You can get it however you want it. I just think it's easier front and back if you get
Oh,
it
I
printed
agree.
out that
I
way.
agree. It's easy that way.
Because it could be two-page game. Oh.
And I mean, one of these days we'll have to make some videos for Pathfinder on, like some Pathfinder stories at some point. It would be kind of fun.
Right.
But like I said, this game is made by Paizo. They do a fantastic job with
Speaking of
their books and what they do. Because like I said, you can find all their bestiaries, all the core rulebook, you can find their adventure paths and find their
And,
campaigns
most,
online.
Most game stories, like board games and what have you, should have Pathfinder stuff, really.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, but the nice part is, if you don't have the money for that, you can go online and just download the PDFs, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean,
So they have,
if
they
you want to
do
do it
have
on your
that.
iPad,
Yeah, they do
Or
have
Mac or
that.
whatever.
There is that availability, which is nice, because there are, like I know for some Dungeons and Dragons stuff, they don't have all their stuff online in PDF form. They just don't, and that can be kind of rough when you're the one who has to go out and buy all the books.
yeah.
Because, I mean, for one, like I said, thick book. These things, this core book alone is like $50.
Yeah.
The bestiaries themselves are not as expensive, of course. They're $40, but still, that's not including like the advanced race guide, the ultimate equipment guide, the advanced class guide and stuff like that. So it's cool that they have those things in PDF form for you to have access to, and I praise them highly for it, because a lot of other companies don't do that.
Right. So what do you think we would rate this as? I would probably say, honestly, it's probably a 10. It's probably the big tenner.
I would agree. This is...
Because you can make it your own.
Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 for me too. It really, when I started this, I really got its hooks in me, and I can make it whatever I want.
Because it's not, I mean, it's not one of those games where you have to follow the rules this way and it can only be this way.
No, it's a very flexible game, and that's the best part. You can make it whatever you want it to be.
Right. Well, guys, I think that's pretty much all we needed to talk about for this video.
That's the basic overall review for Pathfinder from Paizo.
Go ahead and get the book and show them again while we're blabbing away here, so they can keep a good look.
Yeah, that's awesome. That dragon is awesome.
Yes.
But this is what you'll need as a DM
to get
started. It's got everything you need in here for the basic races, the basic classes, to go from there, and that's probably your best place to start.
Anyway, guys, if you like our video, please share it. We're going to have a subscribe button down in the right-hand corner.
Yep.
Lower right-hand corner, should I say. So go ahead and click that if you like it. Share it. Comment.
Like it, of course.
If you have any suggestions
on other games that you would like to see us review, we'd be glad to take those into consideration and see what we can get. We've had
one request, but that game is very hard to get.
It was a very expensive game, and
it was in the thousands.
And unfortunately, we're
getting there. The more support we have, and the more people like you that actually like what we do.
Yeah, of course.
The more things we'll be able to do for you guys. And
of course.
We want to. We just we need you guys' support. So we really do thank you guys a lot. So happy gaming, guys.
Happy gaming.